After my third paycheck, Steve called a family meeting and said, now that you're working full-time, you need to start paying rent. But what I discovered years later made me realize my entire life was built on lies. I was 17, working part-time at a grocery store while finishing high school. Steve had married my mom 2 years earlier after my biological father died in a car accident when I was 14. Suddenly, everything in our house had rules and costs attached to it. $400 a month, he announced, sliding a handwritten contract across our kitchen table. Plus, you buy your own food, do your own laundry, and handle extra chores since you're basically a tenant now. Oh, and no friends over without 24 hours notice. Mom just sat there nodding along like this was completely normal. It seemed harsh, but I figured that's how adult life worked. I'd never had a real father figure to compare it to, and Steve always said he was teaching me responsibility and preparing me for the real world. For 3 years, I handed over most of my paychecks. I lived on ramen noodles and peanut butter sandwiches while Steve remodeled the kitchen with granite countertops and bought himself a brand new Ford F-150. My clothes came from thrift stores while he wore designer jeans and expensive boots. I couldn't afford college because every penny went to rent and basic survival. My guidance counselor kept asking about my plans after graduation, but what could I say? I'm too broke for college because my stepfather charges me market rate rent to live in my childhood bedroom. My friends started avoiding me because I could never go out. Movies, restaurants, even McDonald's was too expensive. I became this ghost of a person, working and sleeping and nothing else. No social life, no hobbies, no future plans beyond just surviving another month. When I finally saved enough to move out at 20, it took me 6 months to scrape together first month's rent and a security deposit for a tiny studio apartment across town. Steve seemed almost disappointed when I told them I was leaving. Guess the gravy train's over, he muttered, not even looking up from his newspaper. Hope you can handle real bills now, kiddo. Mom gave me this sad little hug and whispered that she'd miss me, but she didn't try to stop it from happening or question why I was so eager to leave. Years passed. I struggled but survived on my own. Worked my way up from grocery clerk to assistant manager. Made friends again. Started taking community college classes at night, paying out of pocket one course at a time. Life was hard, but it felt honest. And last month, everything changed. Mom called me at work, crying so hard I could barely understand her words. Steve had left her for his 25-year-old secretary and cleaned out their joint bank accounts during the divorce proceedings. When I went over to help her pack up the house, I found Steve's home office completely trashed. Papers everywhere, filing cabinets emptied, like he'd been searching for something specific before he disappeared into the night. That's when I found the box hidden behind a loose baseboard, probably forgotten in his rush to leave. Bank statements, tax returns, legal documents, insurance papers, all sorts of financial records dating back years. I was helping Mom organize everything when I saw my name on a Social Security Administration document, a survivor benefits statement, in my name, dating back to when I was 16 years old. My hands started shaking as I read it. Turns out my biological father had been in the military for 8 years before he became a civilian contractor. I'd been receiving $850 monthly in survivor benefits this entire time, but I'd never seen a penny of it. Steve had been intercepting the payments, having them deposited directly into his personal checking account, then charging me $400 rent with my own government money. I'd literally been paying him to live in my mom's house using benefits that were legally mine. The box contained 4 years of statements. Over $40,000 he'd stolen from me. Money meant to help me through high school and college. Money that could have changed my entire life trajectory. When I confronted Mom with the evidence, she completely broke down. I didn't know, she sobbed, holding the bank statements. He handled all finances after we got married. He said the government wasn't giving you anything because your father didn't have proper life insurance. She'd believed his lies for years. We both had. I called a lawyer the next day. What Steve did wasn't just morally wrong, it was federal fraud. Stealing survivor benefits is a felony carrying up to 5 years in prison. I'm pressing charges next week. Sometimes the best revenge is letting the law handle things properly.